Evaluating variable expressions. Okay, when we are evaluating variable expressions, we need to make sure that when we are given values, we just put them in for the correct variables and then we solve. So making sure that we read carefully and put things in the right place will be key in this lesson. So we have n squared minus m, where we know m is equal to 7 and n is equal to 8. So the first step is to put in our numbers. So n is 8, so I put in 8 squared minus my m, which is 7. And then at this point, it follows order of operations, so I have to do the square first. So I do 8 squared, and that would be 64 minus 7. And 64 minus 7 is 57. So your answer, 57. Next example here, we have 8 times x minus y, for x is equal to 5 and y is equal to 2. So again, the first step is to put in our variables. So we have 8, and then my x is 5, minus my y, which is 2. Make sure you're careful on where you put everything. The x was 5, so put that in the x spot. The y was 2, so put that in the y spot. And then we can solve. 8, parentheses comes first, so 5 minus 2 is 3. 8 times 3 is 24. So your final answer is 24. In this next example, we have 4n squared minus 3 times the quantity m minus 2, for m equals 5 and n equals 3. So again, step 1, put 5 in for m and 3 in for n. So I have 4 times n, and my n was 3, squared, minus 3 times my m, which is 5, minus 2. So now I do my order of operations. So my parentheses comes first. 4, 3 squared minus 3. 5 minus 2 is 3. Now I do my exponents. So when I'm doing the exponents, I have 3 squared. So I have 4 times 3 squared is 9, minus 3 times 3. And that was the exponents. And the next step would be multiplication and division. So left to right. 4 times 9 is 36. Minus 3 times 3 is 9. So that's the multiplication step. And our last step is going to be the subtraction. So 36 minus 9 is 27. And that would be the subtraction step. That's your final answer. And the last problem, we have x times the quantity 2 times y plus 3 minus x times y. So the first thing we're going to do is put 2 in for x and negative 1 in for y. So that's going to give me 2 times the quantity 2 times y, and y being negative 1, plus 3 minus my x is 2 times my y is negative 1. So now I'm going to do my order of operations. So the first thing is to do the parentheses. So that's going to give me 2 And inside my parentheses, I actually have order of operations also, because I have to do multiplication before division. So I do negative 2 times, 2 times negative 1, which is a negative 2, plus 3, minus 2 times negative 1. And the next step is to actually complete the addition inside the parentheses right here. So I have 2 times negative 2 plus 3 is a positive 1 minus 2 times negative 1. And now I do multiplication. 2 times 1 is 2 minus 2 times negative 1 is a negative 2. So now when I have a double negative, I'm going to change it to a positive. So I have 2 plus 2. And 2 plus 2 is 4. So my final answer is 4. So those are your notes over evaluating variable expressions. When you're doing these problems, make sure you're being careful on what you're putting your variables in for and your order of operations. Do some practice problems and then you should be ready for your quiz over the material.